How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have a new build for you. It is a Spellbreaker. So Spellbreaker is Nightblade plus Arcanist classes together, and I've called this build the Winter's Veil build, only because of this mace. I couldn't really find a different name, but basically it's a physical and cold attack damage build. It is not really gear dependent. If you have any kind of gear whatsoever that has cold and some physical damage, some good stats, I would put it on. Stats point distribution and the way I put the skill points and devotion is really up to interpretation. Like I said, this is going to be a for fun build. I thought it would be a bit different compared to what I usually do. So I'll just show you the stat points, skill points, devotion, and afterwards I'll show you the skill points with the gear. Right? So first off, I totally went with a lot of physique on this build, mostly because Arcanist doesn't provide a lot of physical attribute for the build. So Arcanist, look at this, maximum to 50 points, only 100, and if you compare it to Nightblade, it gives you 175, right? So if I would have taken Soldier, obviously it would have been much higher, hence why I put more points in physique. Cunning, I'm at 602-ish, and Spirit 669. It does affect magical damage. Cold damage is magical damage per se. That's why I put that many more points into Spirit. Now the points are affected as well from the devotion build, so take that in consideration as well. Okay, now for skill points, full points for Arcanist, what you'll really need is maximum 12 points into Star Pack, which is a passive toggle. So it gives max points 135 of cold damage, lightning damage, frostburn, electrocute, 50% physical damage converted to cold, hence why I said physical damage build and cold damage build, and a plus 10% skill cooldown reduction. Very good. I put maximum 12 points into Inner Focus. For that, Spirit percentage plus a 10% in offensive ability. Only 1 into Arcane Will. I got 6 out of 12 for Alexstras's Flash Freeze, and only 1 into Absolute Zero. 1-ish into Iskandra's Elemental Exchange. I didn't take the Overload one. I thought it was quite useless for my build anyways. And max points into Elemental Balance, mostly because of the plus 25% crit damage that it adds to your already crazy damage. And 1 point into Mirror of Rectus, which reminds me, I don't know why I took it off on the bar before. So anyways, next up is Nightblade, max points. The way I have my gear is that I try to max out, let's say 10 to 10, 12 to 12, etc., etc., with the gear. Okay, so I have 11 out of 16 for dual blades, 1 for Belgothian shears, Amarthus quick cut, whirling death, and 2 out of 8 for execution. 1 into Ring of Steel, Ring of Frost. I have 1 into Shadow Strike, and 9 out of 12 for Tumatic Burst. I have such a hard time saying that, so never mind. Take the Breath of Belgothian. 9 out of 12 for Shadow Dance. 1 out of 12 for Elemental Awakening. Now, why did I take this? Well, when you activate your burst, this activates at the same time. So let's say 1 point will give me 81 frostburn damage per over 3 seconds, plus 5% elemental damage, frostburn damage, and elemental resistance. So when this is active at the same time. You have to take that in consideration. It's not always active. It's only when I activate Pneumatic Burst. 4 out of 12 for Veil of Shadow, 1 for Night's Chill. I have max 9 out of 12 for Phantasmal Armor, 9 for Anatomy of Murder, 9 for Merciless Repertory. I took 1 into Blade Barrier, Blade Trap, and 1 point into Devouring Blades. Now you're probably wondering why I took Blade Trap. 1, it just, makes them stop in their tracks. And 2, if I took Devouring Blades, 25% of attack damage is converted to health. So the attack damage that is done to the enemies that are actually trapped is 25% of that is converted to health. Now a couple more points with my plus skills maxes that out quite well and adds to the survivability of this build. Give me a quick sec here. For some reason my bar is here. So yeah, so this would be here. Perfect. Sorry about that. Alright, and for devotion points, it's quite easy. I had 4 points initially here, so went into health, defense, health, and to offensive ability, and I took max into tsunami, so I'll just give you a cold here. So lots of cold damage, frostburn, and I got tsunami, 35% chance on attack. Max into Sailor's Guide. I'll just show you right here. Now, one thing you might know is that you'll probably have a bit of a hard time for resistances, so you'll really have to work around them with components, augments, and whatnot. So if you don't have the specific gear, or if you have gear that really gives you good resistances, stick with that. I took all points into Assassin's Blade, alright, with Assassin's Mark. I have all points into Dryad. Okay, like this. Dryad's Blessing is very important. I have max points to Harpy. Okay, some more cold damage. I had a couple points left later on when I maxed out everything else, but the constellation we want to go for is the Aeon's Hourglass. I thought it would be much different compared to other builds at the moment. So just do Jackal, 6% energy, offensive, and plus 15 to all damage. Viper. Alright. Get some resistances. This one, the Vulture, all max. Okay. Mostly at this point you'll be able to do Aeon's Hourglass, so you'll start off from here, so that it gives you lots of stat points, 30 of each, reduction of all that good stuff right there, 30% reduced entrapment duration, 50% slow resistance, plus 25 reflective damage reduction, vitality resistance, aether resistance, plus 4 to maximum vitality resistance, defense, avoidance, projectiles as well, and time dilation is 100% chance at 50% health. So once you go down 50% health, you have a chance of doing time dilation. Alright, and for the remainder of the points, you would technically still have 2 points here, but I put, since I'm using the Winter's Veil, I took 2 points here to one to defensive, Rowan's Scepter, sorry, one into Rowan's Scepter here, 15 points to defense, and a plus 6% health. Health is always very useful, especially for these kind of glass cannon builds. And I took the two points from the Crossroads and I put them into the Crane to give me basically the poison and acid resistance. And that's pretty much it. It's very straightforward for devotion, nothing very special. And for gear itself, I have a Badge of Mastery, Nemesis Relic, I have one Deathmark Decapitator, obviously the Beacon of Winter's Veil, I have a Deathmarked Hood, Fate Weaver's Leggings, Spellbreaker Waistguard, Chill Dread Mantle, Wraith Walkers, Ice-Scorn Talons, I have the Frost Dread Cuirass, Knight's Embrace, and Life-Giver Signet, and a Band of the Eternal Hunt. Now the amulets, medals, and rings, it's really up to debate on what you really want to take. As I've mentioned before, if you have something much better, do use that, okay? Let's put everything on here. Okay, like I said, you kind of have a bit of a difficult time with resistances because of the kind of build it is. Not too bad for these ones here, but my Aether, Chaos, Poison, and Piercing is kind of lacking, but you're freezing these guys so very often. Yeah, you shouldn't really have any, technically should really not have any issues whatsoever. Let's go somewhere here, just show you how the combat is. Oh, before we do that, I completely forgot to show you So I'm maxed out here. I can see Nightblade 16, 4, 4, 8, 4 out of 16, 1, 6 out of 16, 12, 12, 4 out of 12, 7, 10, 4, 4, 5, plus 12, 12, 12. And Arcanist, everything pretty much stays the same except for 2 points into Arcane Will. I got to 12 on 12 Flash Freeze, 4 out of 12 for Absolute Zero, and 2 additional points for Star Pack. Right, so when I start off, I pretty much, you know, go in, I try to do the trap, and I want to freeze them as much as possible. And I forgot my pet. My bad. What I like, it's pretty cool seeing all the mobs like get frozen and whatnot. So you go in, I do Blade Trap, then I can do my freezing, and I can do whatever afterwards. Just continue on. So yeah, build is pretty easy to do, guys. Very doable on any character, to be quite honest. There you go. So yeah, if it's difficult on endgame bosses, you know, you have to go in and out, obviously. You can't just stay in and just expect not to die. This it's a glass cannon build, so you will have to move in, move out at times. All right, I do have to say that. But all in all, it is an interesting build that really leaves a lot to be interpreted to. So, oh, goodness. It's not too difficult to kill champion mobs. And what you could do as well, there is an item that gives you the ice chill, which is really good, so I can put it on. You can... Yeah. Look at that, I'm not even doing anything. So strong. Very burst damage. Squishy, yes, but very burst damage. So try it out, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this build that I brought to you. Like I said, for fun build, try it out. Put some different points here and there. Maybe you can improve on what I have done. Hope I can inspire you to do something different as well and try some new devotions. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.